it's sometimes you're like, yo, it really uplifted my spirits, and they shout. And with that, they had to have. Make a call, make a bomb, 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 make a call, make a keep a deep bomb, 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 your body, kakara, make a bomb, 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 on a make it. Kilo fat, I'm a dead jugger there. Welcome to my channel. My name is Lwazie Bazalwane. It just means family, and I hope you stay and I hope you do enjoy our little growing channel. So I'm a bit nervous today. I'm out of breath to tell you today took a lot for me to do the setup, but anyway, that's not why we're here. Welcome to my new segment, as we've seen, as the week ends. And comment and subscribe, please. Welcome to a new segment. So today we have As the Week Ends. That will probably happen every Friday, hopefully every Friday. I hope so. But if we do have the weekend and I do manage to post, it should be coming out every Friday. I'm not too particularly sure what time, but it will come out every Friday. So the weekend is just us to just wrap up the week, the work week, wrap up and get ready for the weekend. So sometimes some motivational, and we'll see as it goes. But for today, I'll have a little reflection for us to understand why the walls of Jericho are falling in 2024. It's still the first month, and for me, I've been fighting and having a lot of battles, and I've been going through quite a bit from last year, November. So January simply was just a continuation. It took me a while to feel like, oh, I'm in a different year, but I was still going through a lot. And actually quite recently, I had a whole meltdown, spent the day in bed, and I was on my way to giving up, honestly, if I'm being honest. And this scripture is a scripture that I've heard, I used to hear a lot about when I was younger, and I hadn't thought about it in a while. And I remember the night of my meltdown, we prayed, and the following morning from 5 a.m. Now, bear in mind, I don't wake up at 5 a.m. I wish I did. I have an alarm for 5 a.m., but I never wake up at 5 a.m. From 5 a.m., I kept hearing Jericho's walls. Now, without getting into much of what was happening and what I'm currently going through or feel like I was going through, I got up and I went into my Bible. So get my Bible. And I went and I'm like, let's read this Jericho story again. Let's understand why, after so long, I keep thinking about Jericho. So the story is in Joshua. I will recommend that you read it. I will summarize it. It's in Joshua 6, verse 1 to 27. So in Jericho, so actually, let me try and summarize it. So basically, Joshua and the Israelites who had been told that they have to, I hope I will use the right term, that they need to take over Jericho and the things they meant to take. So it says, now Jericho was straightly shut up because of the children of Israel. None went out and none came in. And the Lord said unto Joshua, see, I have given into thine hand Jericho, and the king thereof, and the mighty men of valor. Ye shall compass the city, all ye men of war, and go around about that city. That shall do 6 days. So basically it continues. So God speaks to Joshua and tells Joshua that they have to go around Jericho, around the walls, for 7 days. Now let me tell you, if this was happening right now, and we just saw people just marching around for 6 days, 7 days actually, we'll think they're crazy. We'll probably think they're crazy. And for me, that's where it started. Like, sometimes it doesn't make sense. Sometimes the road will seem like it doesn't make sense, but we need to continue on that road regardless. And so basically the story goes, they march around the first day, and God specifies that He doesn't want them to make any noise. He doesn't want them to do anything. He just wants them to walk around the walls of Jericho. So day 1, they walk around the walls of Jericho. Day 2, they do the same thing. Day 3, day 4, until day 6. But then he also specified on day 7 for them to walk around 7 times. And then afterwards, he had specified in day 7, as it says in verse 5, that they shall make a long, it says, and it shall come to pass that when they make a long blast with the ram's horn, and when they hear a sound of the trumpet, all the people shall shout with a great shout, and the wall of the city shall fall down flat, and the people shall ascend up, every man straight before him. So basically, they march around the 6 days, they march the 7th day for 7 times, and they shout. And with that, they had to have faith. Because day 1, you're walking once. Day 2, you're walking once. On the 7th day, you've walked 3 times. There's no wall coming down. And you're like, And eventually on the 7th, they walk around and the shouts of triumph go up. And the trumpet goes up too. And the walls of Jericho fall. So I read it and I'm like, Lord, okay, that was loud. Sometimes we think, oh, we don't hear from the Lord, but sometimes it's within the scripture. And I do want to encourage someone, because it's something it really uplifted my spirit in that moment. And I am ever so grateful to remember the story. And I wanted to share for the very first as the weekends, that to have that faith. We might be walking around the first day, have the faith that they had, march around your Jericho. So now the walls now may be figuratively speaking, and you are going through something. Walk around, pray, be with him, spend time in prayer, and be able to continue to march. And all through that, we need to do it through faith. And within the first 6 days, they were murmuring not. And that's how I got it, that they were quiet. They weren't making a noise and stuff. Sometimes it just needs to be just you and God. Murmur not. Pray about what you're going through. The walls within your life that you're trying to bring down. The walls within the jobs you want to get, or whatever else that you may be facing. Walk around. And on the 7th day, definitely, as you continue with God, and it doesn't have to be the particular 7 days of Jericho, but God will answer you. God will be with you even throughout the 6 to 7 days of the walls falling down. And we had, I think, other than just seeing that they needed to have faith, and it's something that we need to learn how to do, to have faith. We also it's also amazing to see God's power. It's sometimes you're like, my problems are a lot, and we then try and make it seem like God is small, and unknowingly that the number of problems I have, he probably couldn't do it. God is amazing. God is powerful. These people walked around a wall. They didn't fight with nobody. They walked. And they triumphed, and the walls came down. So all you need is God in your corner. So this weekend, I urge you to walk around knowing that your God is amazing, that God is amazing, and he is powerful, all-knowing, omnipotent, and omnipresent. In everything you do, remember, the walls will fall, Jericho will fall. And all you need is to have faith and trust in him. Thank you so much for coming to watch this as the week ends. I can't wait to see you next week. We don't know what we're going to be talking about. I'm excited. I'm trying to keep it relatable with things happening within my life and things that people may have shared with me. Thank you so much. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Goodbye for now.